Welcome to For Real Watchers Radio Show, worldwide live, with the best experts as guests. And with your hosts, Jerry Dean and Brett Warner. Expect bone-chilling and heart-pounding stories of paranormal, ufology, supernatural stories, and breathtaking encounter after encounter. Join us as we dive into the abyss of the unknown. Every Friday night, 8 p.m. Central and 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on the best paranormal network, Paranormal King Network. Dead between your eyes, pulling no punches. We'll see you on the other side. Be prepared for anything. Weak hearts dare not enter. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of For Real Watchers Radio Show. I am your host, Brett.
And I'm your other host, Jerry Dean. And tonight we have got a pretty good guest with us. Hey, Brett, you want to tell everybody who we got?
Yeah, sure will. And before we move on, everybody, I do want to apologize for everyone over the cancellation of last week's show on Friday. Hope everybody out there is doing safe, getting back on track. And Jerry, you were right down in the middle of it. How's everything going on down there in Texas?
No, it was your fault, Brett. It was everybody. I want you that's listening. It was Brett's fault. Texas got hit like a tundra. So much for global warming in Texas. It don't exist. But no, we're doing better. We're all thawed out now. That you can keep your northern Yankee weather there, Brett. I don't want it no more. You can have it back.
Absolutely. Well, everybody, like I said, I hope everybody's safe and sound down there. But anyways, moving on, we have another special and talented guest tonight. A paranormal
we got a guest tonight?
We have a guest tonight. We sure do.
We have a guest tonight.
That's
what we're doing here. Okay, let's get to this.
All right, yeah. Coming to us, a paranormal investigator and a master psychic medium. We have Kristie Tropple with us on the line tonight. Kristie, you there?
Yes, I am.
I bet she knew you were going to announce her. She's psychic.
I bet she does.
I bet she knew that was coming.
Not only a psychic, but a medium, too. So, Kristie, how you doing out there? You're in California, aren't you?
I'm in California, yes. And it's warm.
Hey, yeah. Don't rub it in.
So
don't be talking about warm.
Yeah.
Global warming exists in California.
I'll hold myself.
You hold that.
Yeah, but along with the warm weather, we also have Newsom, so it pans out. So.
Yeah, but I got a better governor than you, so there you go.
Okay, I'm not going to get into that right now, being in North Carolina. Right. Yeah, that's our show tonight, folks. We have global warming in California and none in Texas. There you go.
And terrible governors in other states and a great governor in Texas. There we go.
Yeah, there you go. So anyways, Kristie, it's good to have you tonight. So what have you been up to? I'm a little curious here. Master psychic medium. We've had a couple psychics on the show, a couple mediums. So real quickly, for those listening in on chat, give us a little background there. Master psychic medium. Exactly what does that entail?
Okay. I'm an ascended master. And an ascended master is a spiritually enlightened being who in past incarnations were ordinary human beings, but who have undergone a series of spiritual transformations originally called initiations. Like
so it's kind of like a bionic. So it's kind of like a bionic medium, right?
Yeah. It's weird. I know you, Jerry. A master, a commodore, a shaman, or a spiritual master is also a human being who has taken the fifth initiation and is capable of dwelling in a fifth dimension. An ascended master, same thing, and is capable of dwelling on the sixth dimension. And I'm on the eighth dimension ascending.
Good Lord, that's like having a Hemi under the hood with posi traction.
Wow.
Well, I bet you got some stories. Yeah. I bet you got some stories to tell then, huh?
My goodness. Oh, Lord.
Well, Brett can't wait to hear them.
No kidding. What got you started in this? I guess we'll start there. I mean, not everybody. I mean, you're obviously born with this gift. Do you have an awakening sometime in life, or a paranormal encounter, or what? Somebody teach you certain things, or?
No, actually, this woman, Laura, she told me that I was going to that I was a medium and that my doors would open within a year, and they did. And I was 40 years old, so it was in the year 2000. And when it happened, of course, I was testing out my digital camera, and it was at nighttime. And so when I took a picture, I had like 1,000 orbs around me, and I freaked out. And I called her. I was crying. I thought we were being invaded by aliens. I had no idea what was going on. And that's when it all started that night. And it's been crazy.
Wow.
The things I've gone through, sometimes I have to turn around and say, what the heck was that? And I've seen it all, you know.
So you're saying you said you see a bunch of orbs around you. Did that start with microdot, or was that window pane? I mean, I'm just kidding again. Not drug induced.
No, energy, spirit energy.
Oh, beautiful. Well, let's see.
So I'm wondering. So you said, you got involved there. Now, as far as these different levels, you said you're up to 8th. I mean, I'm assuming that's not a class. Is that something you're taught, or how do you know what level you're at, or? When are you bestowed like a master psychic?
I had a reading done about 5 years ago from a soul reader. Her name is Jennifer Flame, and she is amazing. And it took her 13 hours to do my reading. It was a 5-day reading, and she was actually my main guide. Bobby Drake was with her through the whole thing, and he was the one that was telling her most everything she was telling me. And she's the one, I never even knew what an ascended master was at that point. I never even heard of it. I had to look it up.
Wow.
I had no idea. Mm-hmm.
So you found all this out, and you said you had a lot of adventures. You once mentioned to me that you have helped law enforcement and things like that on the side. They've come to you for help like that?
Yes. Yeah, I've worked with Riverside County Homicide. I've worked with Palm Springs Police Department. I've worked with Huntington Beach Burglary Department. I'm all over the U.S. I've been everywhere. I help with murders. Yeah, and I help law enforcement, all different kinds with missing persons cases.
So a quick question for you from Teresa in chat. How many dimensions are there? Do you know offhand?
I think there's about 25.
25, okay.
Good Lord, Brett, we got a long way to go.
Yeah, so let's start with one. No, I'm kidding. I don't want to start with one.
Say that. I'm at level 1 already.
So, and real quickly there, I don't want to get off topic, but I know you've done a lot of paranormal investigations too and things like that. Did that start about the same time, or is that something you've always been interested in? Were you investigating before this happened, or? No.
The only thing I knew about anything paranormal was Sylvia Brown on the Montel show. That was it.
Yeah, Dion.
I knew nothing about nothing. Oh, right. It was crazy. Yeah, it came on like gangbusters. Everything, boom, 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 boom. I was doing everything at once. It was nuts.
I see.
It was nuts. Yeah, it was a lot to process.
So what are you currently working on now? You doing reads for other people, or are you currently doing investigations out there in California, or anything right now? Any projects going on right this moment other than the show?
I have a team that we have put together. There's 3 of us, and we're called the Power of 3 Paranormal. And there's me, who I'm the lead investigator, and I do EVPs. I specialize in those. And then we got Melody Cleo. She is a medium, and she works alongside angels. She is constantly with angels. It's unbelievable. And then we have Roxy Ray, and she's she just does everything. She does our PR, managing, anything, audio, video, whatever we need her for. But she's not gifted at all. But
wow.
The 3 of us together were like, oh my God, so good. We're like perfect. We're totally putting in each other's path. Big time.
That's good stuff. Yeah. So I don't know, moving on to good stuff. So yeah, tell us about some of your instances out there, some of your best investigations, or I mean, whatever a psychic medium does. What's some of the
we just pretty much are putting it together now, the three of us. But I've done investigating with other teams, with people calling and needing help, or just you name it, I've done it.
Wow.
But I want to be able to help more people, and that's why we put we're putting this team together.
Yeah, that's good. So
we might be doing it's like a haunted tour at a winery, my friend's winery out in Rancho Cucamonga, I think it is. Yeah. And we've been there, and we're looking forward to that one.
Yeah, that's good. I'm looking forward to seeing your evidence. Do you have, I know your main Facebook page, the Master Psychic Medium. Do you have a website or anything like that where people can see your work, or any shows like that? Anything?
I don't right now, but I will.
Okay.
And I'll be posting it when I do.
Yeah, I know Jerry, you're being silent back there, but I know we talked to you about.
I'm just learning and listening.
I know we've discussed with you about having your own show on American Alert Guardians. So hopefully everybody can look forward to that, seeing some of your evidence and hearing some of your stories on that. So hopefully.
Oh yeah, here's the announcement. She's about to be one of our regulars. She's about to have her own show on our network, American Alert Guardian Network. So we're looking forward to having her with us.
Absolutely.
Excited. Yeah. I'm excited.
Did we come up with a title yet?
No, not yet. I will just.
Okay, let me. I'm psychic. Let me think of it. No, I'm sorry. Listen, we got an email from a guy. We're going to jump across the puddle here for a second. We got a guy out of UK. His name is Wilson. I think Thomas Wilson. Thomas wants to know, as far as being a medium, does that ever pay off? Have you ever used it in paranormal?
Oh yeah. In fact, I don't use equipment. I'll use like my phone for pictures, and I'll use maybe a voice activated recorder. But I don't. I use my gift to communicate and do what I do.
So you use discernment when you walk into a house. You can pick up on things.
Absolutely.
Yes. Beautiful.
Any other tools? I know we've discussed it from time to time on our other shows. Some people believe in Ouija boards. Others are dead set against them. How about, have you ever fiddled with that before? Normally no. when people hear the word medium, they're thinking of seances and things like that. So,
well, I don't hate them. I dislike them too, because they're abused. They're kids are getting on these things and invoking demons. They don't know what they're doing, and they're opening up doors that we have been trying to keep closed for many, many years. And most every possession case that I get, and I've done hundreds in the past couple of years. About 90% of them are because they got on a Ouija board.
I mean, it's a lot of people don't realize there's not a right way or a wrong way to use a Ouija board. The best way is just don't use it. Like you said, it's a gateway. And if people out there, if you listen to want to dabble in it, you better not. I mean, I don't recommend it. And like you said, you don't like them. I hate them. I absolutely hate them. And the family that invented them's got a hell of a history in Satanism, the one who invented it. So I don't trust them.
Right. I mean, you could take a paper and write everything that's on a Ouija board, and you could take a lighter and set it down, and two people can touch that light, and you can make it do the same thing as a Ouija board. I mean, it's how you're connecting with the spirit, with the, whatever spirit demon you're contacting or think you're contacting, and that's ridiculous that anybody can just get on these things, and it's like giving somebody the keys to a car that's only 5 years old,
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, I don't. Personally, I have no experience with them. I've never messed with them, and I probably never will. I just don't trust them. But there are people who want to argue about that, and that's fine. To each their own. But me personally, exactly. I don't play with them. So yeah. So no seances, no Ouija boards, nothing for you. So, yeah, tell us about some of your investigations. So you said you don't use many tools. You go in there with the recorder and stuff. So you could just feel certain energies in the house or actually see things? Or just is it more of a feeling?
Well, a lot of times, if it's a bad, unclean spirit or something like that, sometimes they'll show off and they'll show themselves to me. Otherwise, they run from me because they know I can cast them away. But the ones that do show themselves, we're talking the wingspans, the length of 5 cars, 6 cars. That is just insane.
So I was curious when they show themselves to you. What do you in your mind? What exactly do you see? I'm sure it's not like Hollywood, like some of the stuff I see. I mean, what exactly do you see?
Sometimes they just look like a blob of snot. Sometimes they look like an animal. They could look like a child. They could look like your mother. They could look like your sister. They can look like whatever they want to look like. But for the most part, they were never human, so they don't have a soul. So they're basically just, I'll be nice. They're just basically not human.
Yeah, just all just whatever, huh? Just something. Even shadows.
I have seen them with. Yeah, the scariest one I saw that came running at me, and he had hooves, and then his from his knee to his hoof was about 5 inches, and then from his knee to his hips was about a yard, and then he had like a goat kind of body, and it had like 5, 6, 7 horns coming out and all just placed. It was just snorting and snot and ugh, and they stink. Oh God, they stink. Oh my God, they smell so bad. And that was probably one of the scariest ones I ever saw, and it came right at me.
You said it charged you. Wow. What do you do in a case like that? I mean, I know a lot of people would probably run out of the house. I mean, you obviously go in there with protection. Just cast them out immediately, or just,
what them out to cast them out? It's 3 pretty long prayers, and you start in one room of the house, and you say the first prayer, then you say Our Father's Prayer, then you say the second prayer, then Our Father's Prayer, then you say the third one on Our Father's Prayer. And you do that 3 times each, and you do that in each room. And as you're going from room to room, you're pushing them out, kind of like you would do with sage. You start at one end and you push them out. Mm-hmm. It's like that, and it's a certain prayer. The 3 prayers that have to be said to cast them out. I've casted 33 at one time in Texas out of one house.
So you're using protection prayers. What's one of the protection prayers that you use? The first one that you would use. Let the audience know out there. How's it go?
You mean to protect yourself when you're going in investigating? Is that what you mean?
Exactly. Yes. So for those people out there listening, that if you don't know this, you might want to listen to this. This will give you a little insight how to protect yourself.
Yeah, they could go on Google, and all they have to do is Google or DuckDuckGo and put in your search protection prayer for investigating or ghost hunting, whatever you're doing, and they'll give you the first one that usually comes up is a St. Michael's prayer. That's the one I always use. And then when you leave an investigation, always have a closing prayer. You want to confine any spirit to the location that you're at, so they don't follow you home. Even if they're good, it doesn't matter. You don't want that following you home. You don't want it following you home. They cling and they drain you, and you just don't need that. So you got to have prayers for certain things.
And I'm sure there's quite a bit of faith involved and things like that. I mean, I understand the power of prayer, but coming out of some people, sometimes I wonder, people are out there doing these things for the wrong reasons.
Oh yeah, they are. Yep, and they don't. There's protocol when you go investigate. You can't taunt them. You can't yell at them. There's respect. You have to respect them, because a lot of them want to talk to us as much as we want to talk to them,
I have a question. I have a question in chat. I think, I could probably answer that, but do you think cemeteries are haunted? I mean, it was just...
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they're loaded.
Yeah. See, I always wondered about that. I think some are, and I wondered if they all are, though, because I sometimes have to think, why would some, entity be just hanging out by himself in a cemetery?
Right.
And, what makes a house haunted compared to, houses that aren't haunted? There's got to be cemeteries that are not haunted, though, right? But
I don't. It's just like a hospital. There's so much death that
right.
There's so much. I cannot stand going into a hospital because they drain me. They literally just suck the life right out of me. I just cannot stand going in the hospital because of that. But anywhere where you've got death,
mm-hmm.
It's like they don't cross over when you pass, and if you don't cross over immediately, then you're gonna look like you looked the second you died, as long as you remain earthbound. Okay, so now you're a ghost when you're earthbound, but if you cross over, then you're in spirit.
And that's what I was thinking. Yeah. I remember I was lucky enough to go to Gettysburg twice, which, in my opinion, is extremely haunted. Some of the things we've thought, and even the stories through the years in Gettysburg, and I know that's a site for, not unexplained deaths, but, lives being taken. You know what I'm trying to say, just a place of anguish, pain, misery, death.
Oh, yeah.
And, I always question cemeteries. I mean, I know some cemeteries, a few of that I've been at, and a matter of fact, has been very active. And then I'm going to be honest with you, I've been in cemeteries and nothing happened the whole, time we were there. And then somebody once told me, it's like, well, why would, things be just hanging around in the cemetery? They're, I don't know. It's just things that I've heard. So I'm never too sure.
I've gone into a lot of cemeteries, but I've never gone into one where there hasn't been activity.
Really? Oh, that's exciting. So what's I know you've done a lot out there. So tell me, I mean, you mentioned that demon earlier. At least that's what I believe it was. What's the scariest thing you've ever had to do?
That's what I want to hear.
Oh, wow.
Come on, tell us some stories, girl. Tell us some stories.
Oh God, there's so many. There was at my mom and dad's house, we found out that in my dad's shed there was about 20 or 30 black holes, and there was a demon that came out of that, and I called him Work Shed Dude. All these spirits I name and put dude on the end of them, So he was Work Shed Dude, and he wouldn't leave. He wouldn't go. And, I was repenting him. I mean, I did everything I couldn't get him to go. So I got Roxy and Melody, and we decided to do a perimeter around my mom's house and protect it. And so I got the holy water in a bottle, and I'm making, it's on a stream, so I'm making crosses with it. And I got the sage. And Melody is doing prayer, and Roxy is carrying the audio with the the Lord's Prayer in Latin, I think. And we started at one end, went all the way, went around the side, went into the backyard, and went around the shed, and got to the gate, and it was completely locked, and the lock was on the other side, so we had to go all the way back, go around, go back to the gate, unlock it, open it, and start back there where we were. And when we got there, the gate was wide open. The lock was not on the gate.
Wow.
And we're just going, oh my God. So we went into the shed. When we finally got into the shed, Melody was doing the prayer. I'm doing my thing. Roxy's doing her thing. And she starts speaking in tongues. And then we videotaped it, but when we got done and we watched the video after that, she wasn't talking in tongues on the video.
Now you said You said that was Melody?
Yeah, Melody Cleo. Yeah, the
Melody,
medium, yeah.
Okay, she's a medium. Okay, go ahead.
So she was doing it in tongue the whole time, and Roxy was recording it. But when we watched the recording afterwards, nothing was in tongue. I about lost it, but we had to close 20 big holes in that in the shed, and it was nuts. That was pretty. My knees were shaking on that one because this thing was pretty powerful. It was really powerful, really powerful. That, and besides the talking in tongue and then it not showing up on the thing, it was like, you got to be kidding me. And then when we got done and we're standing out in front of my mom's house, these bright lights came shooting out from behind the house. They were like, skylights, how they do when they're having a premiere. And you could just feel the white light. And they just, out of nowhere, you can't see where they came from, but they were bright lights just shooting up in the air. And we're going, oh my God, what is going on? That was nuts. Yeah, it was just crazy. That was pretty awesome. But I've had a lot. I've had them beat me down. I've had them try to choke me. I've had them. I was repenting them in the Bible, and I would not stop. I kept going. I'm choking. I'm throwing up. I'm turning red. I'm drooling. I keep going. They can't. I go till they're gone.
Oh, that sounds pretty crazy.
Wow, that's crazy. Being choked? Seriously?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah. I've been bitten by them. I've got pictures of them. Their bite marks in me.
Most of these investigations, California, is that where you guys hit up most of the times? Any notable places out there?
Actually, some of the most gnarliest was in Texas.
Oh, Texas, yeah. Well, we know everybody down there is a goon.
Me. Y'all kiss my yeah.
The one that I tested 33 demons out of, that was in Texas, and prior to the people that were living there, when I was there was the KKK and Aryan Brotherhood had resided in that house, and so it was never blessed or anything after they left. So you can just imagine what was there.
Yeah, I can only imagine. We do have a little bit of that down here in Texas, but hey, Brett, make fun of my state again. I'm getting off of here. You can take over.
All right.
I'm just kidding with you.
Yeah, I'll be nice.
Texas has been through hell. Oh, freezing. Hell froze over.
Yeah, Texas is the most awesome place I've ever investigated.
Wow.
Yeah, we got a lot of places down here. My paranormal group would go out all over Texas in the past. I used to travel all over Texas doing investigations. Of course, I've traveled all over the United States doing investigations too, but one of the wildest places was Psycho Asylum. And it was psycho. It was crazy. We had physical contact too. But yeah, I can relate to that. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's Psycho. That's San Antonio, ain't it? I think most people know about that.
Psycho Asylum. Yep.
Yeah, familiar with it. Wish I could go. Have a quick question for you. Do you watch any paranormal TV shows? And if you do, which one would be your favorite?
Well, my absolute favorite is The Dead Files with Amy Allen.
The Dead Files. Okay.
No, that's pretty good.
Yeah, because that's what I do. I do what she does, so I can relate 100% with that woman. She's amazing. That's a good show. And what I don't like is Ghost Adventures because they taunt.
Man, let's not turn the show towards Zach again.
We won't go into that. We did that last week with Christina George talking about Zach. We just didn't get in detail about Zach, so good thing we didn't.
Yeah. I tell you what, I got a thing for the Ghost Brothers. Let's face it. Don't beat on me for this, but I just, I find humor in it. I'm sorry.
That's true. Yeah, I agree. But yeah,
definitely not what I would call real. But yeah, I like that show. I can relate. But anyway, so the Dead Files. Yeah, I have to check that out.
Well, one of my favorite ones, and I am going to be biased here, the guy who used to work on one of my crews because I'm a builder by trade, and his name is R.J. Warren, and that's redneck ghost hunters. That's my hero right there. I love him. He's a dear friend of mine. He lives right here in McLennan County. I'm not giving away where I live, but yeah, he used to actually work for me on my crew, but he just signed a contract with Sony. But man, y'all got to check out Redneck Ghost Hunters. They're a blast. They're, of course, a bunch of rednecks. I mean, I'd fit right in, but they're really, they're not only funny, but they're really good at what they do, but they're hilarious. You'd love them.
Yeah, I could imagine going out with them. I was like, hey, I think I heard something. Hold my beer.
Yeah, that'd be it, too. Hey, bro, put down the whiskey bottle. No more shots on this. You know.
No kidding.
Hey, man. But I'm gonna probably go out with him in the future. But he's been real tied up with that. But oh man, they're a blast. But I'll tell you, one of the things I used to the Paranormal Files, or not what was it called? Oh, good Lord, me and my wife used to watch it. Oh, somebody help me. Paranormal Activity.
Oh, okay.
They would reenact the story and everything, but they had police, governors, judges. I mean, people, police officers, firemen, mayors, all these people giving an account. In other words, a lot of people don't want to tell their story. It's gotten better through the years. I remember back my nickname in high school, well, actually junior high, was Ghost Boy, because I had a bunch of friends sleep over, and I used to have some wicked things happen in my house. That's when my encounter started, when I was a kid. But they always teased me, because I always wanted to do sounds, and I'd always talk about what was going on in my house and all that, until one night they stayed the night with me. There's like 5 of them. And they ended up leaving, calling mommy and daddy to come get them, because we did a little sounds in my basement. And that's the same house my dad years later would die in. And I was 16 when he passed. But that was a wicked house. We had encounters on every area in that house. But those guys got so doggone scared. They're like, we gotta go. And I said, So I got the nickname Ghost Boy. And then everybody at school kind of made fun of me, like, oh, there's Ghost Boy. But it's funny to me. I've been doing this now for over 35, 6, 7 years now. And Ghost Boy is actually known. These guys even call me up, man, I heard your show, bro. We'll never make fun of you again. You're the real deal. I'm not a ghost hunter. I'm a paranormal investigator. And you are too, and Brett is, and there, it's kind of like what we said. You could separate the Ghostbusters, the ghost hunters, T-shirts and ball cap crew from the, the legit bona fide ones that are out there to help people, and that we do know what we're doing. And if you're out there listening right now, if you have something going on in your house, don't hire the Ghostbusters, guys. Hire yourself professional paranormal investigators. We do exist.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's
and a lot of us do it for nothing.
Well, I don't charge.
I don't either. I've never charged a penny for a reading or nothing.
And most of the groups I know that do not charge. I'm sure there's a couple out there. To be honest with you, I've never run into any, but yeah, they exist.
Oh yeah.
There's
well,
no
but
doubt
you
about it.
you got to consider. I mean, if you got the money, you got to travel somewhere. You might bill a person for the gas bill or mileage or something. But other than that, if it's within my 100-mile radius, I'm pretty sure I can just go for free. I don't charge, and I know a lot of groups right here in Texas that don't charge either. They're here to they're here to be a blessing. We're here to bless, not to bleed. Because if you get the wrong people in your house or your building, and you got a serious problem, the wrong person or wrong group coming in there could stir it up and make it worse for the family. They think it's a game, and it really could transform into something that turns into a nightmare. And it's hellish for a family, because once you pack up your little cameras and your equipment, you leave, that family's got to deal with it. And to anybody out there, if that's what you're doing as far as a ghost hunter, stay out of people's houses. You're not helping. You're going to hurt people. And I've literally been doing shows for 8 years. I've warned any and everybody out there, please, if you are doing this, don't take it as a joke, because these families are really hurting. They don't know where to turn. And when they call somebody and they trust them to be a professional, they call people like us. We know what we're doing. We're not going to, put this family in harm's way. And one of the first things I always ask is, what is your standing with God? Because if you are not in right standing with God, that thing has got a right to be there. And so that's one of the first things. Before I even go there, I talk to them on the phone, a pre-interview. But I won't go into a house if I know the family's in wrong standing. That gives me an open door to preach too, because I'm a preacher, and I like saving lives and saving souls. So I tell them about the Lord and what Jesus did on the cross and God's grace. A lot of times families get saved, and next thing you know, we're in there doing a cleansing, and that thing's gone because they don't have a right to be there no more.
That's crazy. Hey,
yeah.
That's crazy. Correct me if I'm wrong. Somebody once told me this before, but we got to go way back a couple years, back when they were doing, well, maybe they still do them now. I'm sure they do behind closed doors, but exorcisms, when actually the church and the Vatican is involved. I heard back long, long ago that they would not even go into a house or even consider doing anything unless the family was actually baptized and members of the church.
That's very true. Very true.
Okay. I mean, the church said we don't want nothing to do with it. We're not going to send investigators. We're not going to do anything because the family is already, and yeah. So,
well, all of that literally had to go. That had to go literally through any kind of Catholic, as far as preacher would have to literally get a hold of the higher ups and go through the Vatican to get permission to do an actual type of investigation that would include. It didn't even have to include an exorcism, but they dang sure had to get permission to do exorcisms, and they would send their top people in to do that. But to this day, they're still like that. They won't get involved unless they have the higher ups. I don't know what they're called. I'm not Catholic, but I've done research enough, and I've been around a lot of Catholic preachers. They themselves, a local chapter or whatever, a local church won't go in and do stuff like this, period. That's when they get a hold of people that actually do exorcisms or cleansings.
Kristie, I've got
a lot of people don't understand that the you're giving them permission to be their thing. They don't get it. A lot of people don't get that.
No, that's true.
The church probably knows that. I mean, we can go in there, we can do our thing, but if this family's not right with God, if they have no faith, what are we doing in there? What do you expect us to do?
You just prod the bull. You just basically stirred the hornet's nest. So,
hey, I got a question in chat here. Somebody wants to know where they can get a free reading.
All they got to do is contact me on Facebook.
Yeah, so can you do remote readings? Is that what you're saying? Or
I can do it on the phone. I can do it on chat. I can do it in person. However we want to do it.
Okay, so for those in chat and there's listening in, the link is in the chat right there. If you want a free reading, hit up Kristie directly. And that question came from Teresa. So, Teresa, hopefully you get your reading. But back to the church though. Yeah, somebody once told me that years ago, and I'm not Catholic either, so I didn't know their rules or their policies. But yeah, they will not even touch that. So. But anyway, so yeah, back to your investigations. And so, yeah, I'm more interested in getting choked and getting your hair pulled and all that.
Well, I'll come over there to North Carolina and choke you and pull your hair if you want.
Yeah.
I'll fly right over there, buddy.
Oh, you're so funny.
We're nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, they won't hesitate. They will not hesitate to just put the smack down on you. But for the most part, they do stay clear of me because they know what I'm capable of. So they're afraid of me most of the time. When they see me coming, and they do run. They do hide. Yep.
So they're scared of the power of Christ in you.
Mm-hmm. The white light blinds them.
You better believe it. That's good.
Yep.
That's good.
Absolutely.
Yep.
But that's so. So what do you got planned now going to your future? Just the same thing? I mean, you said you are doing readings. This group is still going strong. You said you guys are just starting though?
Yeah, basically we're just starting. We've been trying to start it for a while now, but Melody's had her thing going on, and Roxy's had her. I've had mine, and I just told them when the time's right, it's going to happen, and it's the time's now. It's just we've just been talking about it. Yeah, perfect timing.
Now, Kristie, do y'all have an actual paranormal group? A team?
Yeah, the three of us. Yeah, the three of us. It's called the Power of Paranormal.
The Power what?
The Power of Three Paranormal.
Oh, cool name.
Power of
Three Musketeers. That's awesome.
And we're on Facebook. Yeah.
Oh, that's you've got a page too, just for the group?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. What is that page? Just the Power of Three on Facebook?
Power of Three Paranormal. Mm-hmm.
Power of Three Paranormal on Facebook. Okay. Yeah, because actually I don't even think I've seen that page before. But yeah, I'll have to check it out.
Brett, that gives me an idea. Brett,
okay.
I have an idea. The dynamic duel. Me and you, the dynamic duel paranormal. I'm Batman. You can be Robin. You can be Robin. I'm Batman. My kids call me Batman all the time. I'm Batman.
I'm Batman.
The dynamic duel paranormal. All right. Well, listen, I got an email. A couple of them actually. This is going to be. It's not a question, but looky here. This is pretty cool. From our group, American Alert Guardians, we've got one person out of Texas. That's Bob. I'm not going to give him the last name. It's going to be too long. He wants to welcome you on board the network. He's been hearing that we're going to be bringing you on. Plus, he wanted to say congratulations on becoming an administrator at American Alert Guardian with our Patriot group. So there you go. There's a welcome aboard, and they look forward to seeing you as an admin. We got another one. Her name's Kelly out of Florida, saying welcome aboard, sister. Glad to have you. Here's one from California, who is saying, hey, great to have you, girl. Hang in there. We love having you, and be a good administrator. We've had some bad ones. Jerry and Brad are weeding through, but we're getting some good ones, and it's good to see that. Well, that's very good, Kelly, Kristie, and Bob. All right. Back to you.
Yes. Sorry to a couple of you. Jerry, look at this. We've got like 46 emails, so sorry if we can't hit them all. We try to hit a couple every show, but yeah, keep sending your emails in. And for those in chat, feel free to ask questions. We hit them as we can, the best we can.
Yeah, we try.
But yeah, Kristie, go ahead. Continue your story there.
Okay. What do you want? What do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, just some of your more exciting investigations.
Okay, let's set the tone. I want to set the midnight hour. Okay, let's get dark and gloomy. All right, let's do attic, graveyard. Now we already did graveyard. Let's do attic or basement.
Attic
do you have
or
anything
basement?
Yeah, it's midnight. It's dark. You're going down creaky steps. You know, picture this scene. Okay, anything like that?
Well, we don't have attics or basements here in California, so I really don't have that. But I do have a good possession one.
Okay, let's do that one.
Okay.
Twist
so, how I met Roxy and Melody was somebody referred me to them on Facebook, and so they contacted me, and Roxy's son had gotten on a Ouija board a few years prior to this, and so he had an issue, and so I told her son was possessed, and to make a long story short, I told her to put holy water in his Gatorade that he drinks every day when he comes home from school. So she did, and I told her to have me on the phone when he got there, so she did, and he drank it, went into the bathroom, got on his hands and knees and was throwing up, foaming at the mouth in the toilet, and he did not know that Roxy and Melody had been talking to me. He didn't even know I existed. And Roxy goes in there, opens up the door, and asks him what he's doing. And he turned and looked at her in a guttural growl and said, F-U-C-K, that medium Kristie. You know, and yeah, and so she got to see firsthand that, okay, look at what the holy water did to him. So we had to get him to a deliverance ministry. And actually, I have the videos of that. I'll send them to you, Jerry. You and Brett would like to see these. And then she had an issue with her mother. And so we were waiting for the priest to get there. And I didn't want to go in the house until the priest got there because this thing wanted to kill me. So we're standing out in the driveway, and we found out that the priest wasn't going to be there for about another hour. So I said, okay. So I said a little prayer, and I asked the angels and my guides to get in front of me and behind me and protect me from everything. So we go in the house, and we go in Rocky's room. I sit down to bed, and I'll send you guys this video too. And Melody sits next to me on the bed. She goes, let's do a selfie. And she holds the phone out in front of us, and she has it turned around so we could see ourselves. And she had it on video. And behind us, these two angels were just shooting straight up to the ceiling, bright as can be, and there's no lamp there. There's no window, no nothing. Just shooting. You can see their heads and their shoulders, their bodies are just huge. And so I said, "Oh my God, those are the angels behind me, protecting me." I said, "Let's go meet Satan." So I said, "Come on, let's go in the front room. I want to meet her." So we walk in there, and she's sitting in there. And I walked right up to her, and I put my hand out to shake her hand. I said, "Hi, my name's Kristie. What's your name?" And she threw her hands in front of her face and covered her eyes. She's going, the light, it's blinding me. Get her away from me. Get her away from me. Get her away. You know, and so, you know, I had to back up because she was just freaking out. And then the priest finally got there, and I'd never met this priest before. I'd never even seen him. And I kept telling Roxy and Melody that I knew this priest in a past life. I could feel it in my bones. When he saw me walking in the door, Melody went to introduce us, and before she could even introduce us, she goes, "I know, we already know each other." And Roxy I had to pick up her chin off the floor and put it back in her jaw. And this is the same priest that did the exorcism on her son in the house, and he busted the tiles. They had to replace the tiles. The ground was rumbling. It was crazy. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it does sound pretty awesome.
That was pretty awesome, yeah. Yeah, but I'll send you guys the videos so you can see that.
Yeah, please do. We'll talk about it after the show. I'd like to see them. Yeah, it sounds interesting.
Yeah.
You know what would be a great idea, Kristie? You know, we're going to be launching your show here pretty soon once we get a title and get your intro. But I think what would be a good idea is when you do your first show, we do a blast off show. You're launching your show. That's an intro. But your very first show, what we probably would have you do is do a show on that, and let's post that video so everybody can see it, and then you can talk people through it, and they know we can show clips of it. What do you think, Brett? Would that be cool?
Yeah, I think that'd be awesome. I mean, we could even. We'll talk through it. I just wonder if I could put some of it like in the intro too, or whatever. We'll discuss it.
Tell people what actually happens to you when you mess with Ouija boards.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're scary stuff. And like I said, I know some people argue with that because I've seen them, and I've seen videos of people playing around with that stuff. But no, not for me. I don't need them. Honestly, I mean, it's not what I'm there to do. But anyways, I real quick, I had another question. Do you think children's spirits can be evil?
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, it was a question from George. Yeah, explain that. I mean, what children's spirits can be evil? I'm sure some people are just born evil. I mean,
yeah, they are, and we're born with the white light of the Holy Spirit in us. We are God's children, and so we are pretty much pure. And what we do in our lifetime, whether we choose to walk on the dark side or the light, that's on us. We do that. Nobody else. We have to take responsibility for that. And so whether we do it as a child or we do it as an adult, it happens every day. So there's some evil. It's fun when we pass on. If say we pass on and we're 100 years old, and if we cross over, we're going to look like we would have looked at age, or like we looked at around age 30, because that's our more spiritual time in our life. So if I see an entity and it's an older person or a younger child, then I know it's a ghost and that they're not in spirit, because everyone you see that's in spirit is going to be around age 30.
And see, where I get confused on that too, I mean, yeah, I know everything could be evil, children, adults, men, women, whatever, but of all my experience, deep down, you never really know who you're talking to or what that is.
That's right.
It could be a child, an evil child, but I got news for you. You don't know what that is. You know what I'm trying to say. That could be something you don't want to know. Farthest thing from a child or an adult or an old man or an old woman or whatever. Because, we all know, when we're talking about demonology and things like that, they can be whoever they want to be. they are master deceivers and liars, and they will trick you every way they can. And so yeah. Yep.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what they do. I mean, that's their nature. You know, a lot of people don't understand, and I have to elaborate on this because a lot of people say, well, no, you're wrong, but the Bible ain't wrong. The Bible talks about once we leave our body, we will never be back in our, in a human form ever again, or in a physical, looking like a human ghost. I know people say, well, I've seen, women ghosts or little kid ghosts, and I've heard them and I've seen them and I've got video of it. Okay. What you're calling a ghost, let's think about this. It goes totally against what the Bible says, because the Bible says that we will never be here again once we've left. Now, I've had people argue, well, that means they just haven't crossed over. Well, I didn't write the book on crossing over, but I did read the Bible quite a few times, and it does state once we have left the earth and we have gone on, that we will not be coming back as far as in a ghostly state or a spirit. Now, however, we got to look into what does come back, what is here. What forms, what shapes do these things take? People beware, because demons themselves are masters of disguise, like my brother Brett just said. These things can take on any form, ghostly, spiritual-looking, demonic, demon-looking, could be an innocent child, could be an animal, anything. And what you probably are working with or dealing with is demon. It's demonic. They take forms. They're shapeshifters. They do exist.
And for those who know them, they do get you. That's when they come. I mean, some people believe that they'll get you when you're down, when you're depressed, when you're sorrowful, right after you lose a loved one, things like that. And I saw, this at the foot of my bed, and you need to be careful out there.
Yes.
Well, I had one little girl who was about 8 years old, and I got a picture of her. And she was bald, and so she told me that she died of cancer. And she used to come at nighttime, and she would run her fingers through my hair and literally put me to sleep. And I found out about a week after she was coming around that it was my brother's best friend's aunt's daughter or something. Because she saw the picture, said, "Oh my God. That's my aunt. It was somebody that they were related to, a little girl." And I saw the picture of her that they had, and it was identical. Even what she was wearing, identical.
Well, I think it's safe to assume we don't know all the answers. I just don't suppose we ever will. But I do know this for a fact: a demon can definitely look however he wants to. Take any form, in the, to deceive, to lie, to get you more involved, to manipulate you, to keep you wanting more.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's like when you go to a lot of different investigations, you go in there in a house and it hits the weak link, and the weak link in that house is usually the children. Mm-hmm. It will hit the most vulnerable child, especially the ones that are very imaginative, creativity, because that's where they get the imaginary friends. Now, I won't say every imaginary friend's, a demon or not like that. That ain't what I'm saying. But the ones that do play havoc on a family, they usually get in through the children, and they are little playmates, really.
Yeah,
and they take on the innocent form,
pulling them in. Yep.
And then they show their true colors and show their. Well, they'll show their true colors after a while, but they never just blow the door open. Hey, here I am, and this is what I am. They disguise themselves. They get in close. A housewife alone, where her husband's at work, she's very vulnerable, especially if she has children, but not necessarily always the children. It could be the housewife. And I'm not saying this because I'm women, but it is a lot of cases. You'll look at probably around 70 to 80% are case scenarios or where children are the ones that got basically infected or affected, and even possessions. Right. But a lot of times you'll find a single housewife where, not single, but a housewife where the husband works late hours, he's always gone. And these things start off by, again, like we've talked about in the past, and we'll cover it on this show, is, you got oppression, you got depression first. Depression comes when you're, basically almost bored, but yet you got a lot of pressure, you got bills, you got financial problems, you got things happening in the house. Then these things start to distract. Once they start to distract, now they're getting your attention. So now you've got obsession kicking in. So you're obsessed. Every night you're looking for something to move. You're listening for that voice, that door to open. You stay up late at night with a video camera. I'm going to catch it on film this time. These things literally get you one-track mind. I'm going to catch it on film, or I'm aware it's in my house. I'm not, I'm very privy to it's being here with me. It's in the environment. It's here in my house. It's in that room, whatever. So it occupies your mind. That's obsession. Yeah. That now depression goes to obsession, turns into what? Oppression. This is the steps it takes to the ultimate, which is possession. Because once you get to obsession, then you get to oppression. Now, oppression is a deeper form of depression, but now it's physically worn you out. It's got you mentally worn out. You're not sleeping. You're not eating. Now it starts to mess with your sleeping habits, because when you do sleep, you hit long periods of time. So when you start seeing people do sleep a lot, watch for oppression. Watch for these signs, y'all, because it means they're slipping closer and closer into something they could turn into, something they're very familiar with, but you don't want to get your family members to that point. So be looking for these early signals. Depression, okay, oppression, or obsession, then oppression, and then the final step is possession.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know we're getting short on time here, so I want to get this question out real quick. Where is the most haunted place in California? It's a question from King in the chat channel. Kristie, what would you say the most haunted? Because California is a big place.
Yeah,
I would say the desert is pretty bad, because I've seen more than once out here. I've literally seen a demon that their bodies are like spiders, like a black widow spider, but they've got a human head, and they got red eyes.
Oh, wow.
And they're huge, and they live underground in holes.
Now you said the desert. What? Just walking around in the desert, or just?
Well, out here, there's I say the deserts are the devil's playground.
Well, we've done investigations in Death Valley. When I was in Vegas, we went out to California. Death Valley's got some wicked places, really bad.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
And the Queen Mary's pretty haunted. I've never been
Queen
there,
Mary.
but I want to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, we're only down to a couple minutes here, Kristie. Before we wrap it up, so again, where can everybody reach you at? You said you only have the Facebook page?
Yeah, just my Kristie Tropple, my personal page. I've got my Kristie Tropple Master Psychic Medium, and I'm the only Kristie Tropple on Facebook, so easy to find. And then we got the Power of 3 Paranormal. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Great.
Like I said, for everyone else, if you need to get a hold of Kristie, feel free to hit her up on Facebook. Like she said, she does do remote readings. So if you have any questions out there, feel free to hit her up. And for everybody else listening in, make sure you keep an eye forward. She will be appearing on American Alert Guardians Network. You can find us on Facebook and YouTube. She should be probably starting her own show here within the week. Jerry, anything to add, brother?
Also, you can check us out on Rumble. But we're also on what? Oh, good Lord. We're on Twitter. We're on Instagram, and we're everywhere. So, but you can become a member at American Alert Guardians. We're a patriotic group trying to take back this country through unity. We're not rendering evil for evil. So please go check us out on Facebook. Our group it's an organization, basically, y'all. It's not just your typical Facebook group. We have our own network. We have amazing things happening, and we have amazing things coming. Also, in the future, just be tuning in April. We thought it was going to be March Madness or March Miraculous, but it turns out it's going to be in April. We're going to have some heavy hitters. If y'all know the Conjuring movie, we've got the one and only, a dear friend of mine. I just got off the phone the other night with her. I was talking to her. Her mom's doing great. Andrea Perrin is going to be on our show. We're going to do about a 90-minute special. But from the movie Conjuring, this is her life. Her life story will be told. She's going to just give us all the facts. So April the 18th, she's committed. She told me yesterday, I'm open. So we've got her. Me and Brett will be interviewing. Everybody make it in the chat room. Send them emails. Keep it coming. And y'all that we did get your emails, we got hundreds of them. Just trust me. Yeah. We'll get to them if we didn't get to them on the show. But meanwhile, Brett brought us in. I'm going to take us out. Kristie, thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody out there. This is for This is For Real Watchers. I'm Jerry Dean, one of your hosts, and you're the host.
I'm Brett, and everybody, thanks for watching. Stay safe, and I'll see you next Friday. I'm out.
We will see you next Friday for sure. God bless each and every one. Keep America safe. Love your country. Love your family. And pray for this country, y'all. God bless you. Until next time, we're out.